So this is pretty wild. Sony is going to reportedly push back the PS6 until 2028 or even 2029 amid an AI-fueled chip shortage. And we've been covering that a lot on the channel, that everybody's running out of chips because they're all using chips for AI and GPUs and hard drives and all these things that we took for granted as PC owners, as PC gamers. The prices are going through the roof. And there's a shortage because everybody wants to be able to cheat on their homework and make AI slop. But this is really explaining everything that's going on with Sony right now, because, they did raise the price of the PS5. And apparently they've been begging PS4 owners to upgrade to a PS5. And why would they do that? Right? If they were going to come out with the PS6 like next year. Well, the truth is they're not going to come out with a PS6 next year. It's going to be at least 2 years, possibly 3 years, because consumers are not going to pay $1,500 for a PS6. Well, most normal consumers won't pay that much for a PS6. So let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, hey, you've still got time yet. We're not going to close this out right away, but if you want to pick up a copy of the Crimson Wren hardcover, this is volume 1. We're working on volume 2 as we speak. You can go out to Kickstarter. We have a second chance offer out there, and there are a lot of new perks that we did not have before, so check that out on Kickstarter. Thank you very much for that. Some gorgeous art here from Jose Garcia. And we've got some new perks that were not available before, including D20 cards and a new pin and some prints. So check it out on Kickstarter. Thank you for that. You'll get a new Crimson Wren by 2029, hopefully. So it's not just Sony that's feeling the pinch. Nintendo is talking about raising the price of the Switch, something they've kind of held off on doing. And guys, you really missed out. If you wanted to Switch 2, it was on clearance, I guess, at some Sam's Club, some Costco's for like $300. $374. It's kind of crazy. It was the bundle with Mario Kart, so you might have missed out. So now the Switch 2 is going to go up in price too. But let's take a look at the original. Well, the original article came from Bloomberg. Let's take a look at this from YCCF. Sony is considering pushing back the debut of the PlayStation 6 to 2028 or even 2029. Nintendo Switch 2 price could increase in 2026. If you've been following tech news over the past few months, you are well aware of how the widespread adoption of AI is causing many issues for consumers, with prices of components such as RAM and solid-state drives skyrocketing in a matter of days. Yeah, people were showing me photos of, I think it was like a 32 gig stick, went from like, what was it, a couple $100 to like $600, $700. It was insane. These price increases in the limited availability of components for anything that is not supposed to be used in an AI data center is making things difficult even for console manufacturers, so much so that Sony is reportedly actively considering a delay of the PlayStation 6. So this is coming from Bloomberg. It's weirdly not Jason Schreier. It's actually their tech writers, Debbie Wu, Takashi Mochizuki, and Yulim Lee, saying that they are potentially going to push it back. So a new report posted today on Bloomberg, according to people familiar with the company's thinking, Sony is now considering pushing back the debut of its next PlayStation to 2028 or even 2029. Well, this isn't the first time we've heard of a possible delay for the PS6 beyond the 2027 release window. The number of reports in the past few weeks suggest this is no longer a last case scenario, but a concrete possibility. Again, this would explain why they're pushing PS4 users into buying a PS5, because the PS5 is going to be the current gen for the next few years. So it's very weird. This whole generation of consoles has been very weird, because it used to be a console generation was about 5 years. Yeah, like 3 to 5 years. And now we're looking at the norm being like 7 to 10 years. But yeah, with everything costing so much, with a lot of people migrating to PCs anyway, and then we got the Steam machine coming out, and that thing is probably going to be at least $1,000. And you can't really build a gaming rig now for a decent amount of money. That's why I was pushing the mini PCs, because I'm like, if you guys want to be able to game, play retro games, and do some light PC gaming, then that might be the way to go, because you can buy a mini PC now for like $700, $800, $900 versus trying to build a rig, because this is just not going to happen. I mean, it's insane. Things are not any easier for the manufacturers who managed to release their hardware before the chip crisis showed its ugly head, according to people familiar with the company's plan who spoke with Bloomberg. Nintendo is also contemplating raising the price of the Switch 2 in 2026. I don't think that's a very smart plan for them. I mean, I think they're going to have to because the investors are getting nervous, but I'm like, you don't have any good games. We have both systems. We have the PS5. We actually bought the PS5 at launch. My wife scored one, and we did like an unboxing and stuff on the channel. My son was younger, and it was exciting when we first got it. And then we're like, yeah, it's basically just a PS4 Pro. That's because there really aren't any good games for it yet. It's only come into its own in the last couple of years, and that's because people can buy them. But you weren't missing much. The first couple of years of the PS5, you weren't missing much. It doesn't even feel like the PS5 came into its own until about 2 years ago. So maybe delaying the PS6 is probably a good thing. And they're jacking the prices on the PS5s. But the Switch 2 is in the same place right now. Okay, they got Mario Kart and they got Donkey Kong. Whoopee. Right? I was like, neither one of those are like killer apps, must-have games. They're just not. And they're not selling as many Switches as they were hoping to. And now they're talking they're going to raise the price too. I'm like, are you mental? I'm like, God, seriously. Good luck with that, because I think a lot of people are just holding on to what they have. They said back in November, President Shuntaro Furukawa revealed that Nintendo Switch 2's price was expected to remain stable in the immediate future unless significant changes in external factors such as a shift in tariff assumptions. Remember tariffs? Remember last year everybody was freaking out over tariffs? Now you don't hear anything about tariffs. Now it's all chip shortage. And then next week it'll be, bird flu or something. Who the hell knows? Or other unexpected events. This is an unfortunate turn of events that will eventually price many gamers out of current gen systems. The PlayStation 6 may not be the only next gen console to see a consistent delay over the expected release window. The next generation Xbox may launch in 2027. I am waiting for them to just decide to not make another Xbox console, because it is not worth it for them. Xbox is dying. That is reportedly a best case scenario. With the Magnus APU being more expensive than the chip powering Sony systems, the system would be commercially doomed if it launched at a very high price. This is going to be the out. I'm telling you, this is how Microsoft is going to nope out of the console wars. Oh, chip shortage. It's cost prohibitive. We're not going to do it. Yeah, so let's see what IGN has to say. Do they have anything else? Let's see. This is Nintendo's CEO. As a result, the recent rise in memory prices did not have a significant impact on hardware. So he was talking about, raising the Switch 2s. He said, as for future change in the price of a Switch 2, no decision has been made at this time. But yeah, I think that was premature. So yeah, I don't know, guys. Earlier this month, Sony waved away concern about potential further PS5 price raises as a result of the rising cost of memory, insisting it's already in a position to secure the minimum quantity necessary to manage the year-end selling season of next fiscal year. So they bought ahead. So they're probably not going to raise the price of the PS5. Again, that would be suicide at this point, right? I mean, you're talking, what is this, 6-year-old console at this point, and you're going to raise the price again? It said, going forward, we intend to further negotiate with various suppliers to secure enough supply to meet demand, the demand of our customers. Yeah, so I think that's probably going to happen. So that does explain why, and I did a short on this, that was about a week ago, that they are pushing PS4 users to upgrade to a PlayStation 5. Why would you do that? Well, one, I think they're not doing so well financially, but two, I think they're like, we know we're going to be stuck with the PS5, this generation console, for the next couple of years. So let's push all the PS4 users over to the PS5, because a lot of people are waiting. They're like, I'm not going to upgrade. Just like a lot of people didn't upgrade from, the Wii to the Wii U. They waited for the Switch. And I think it was kind of that way with PS6. But I think you're stuck with it. I don't know, guys. It's a great time to be a retro gamer, right? It really is. Oh, speaking of which, this is kind of a side tangent, but Arcade 1-Up somehow has survived. Well, not really. They sold off select assets to Basic Fun, and they're going to be making a Sonic XL cabinet, which is very weird to see Sonic the Hedgehog in a cabinet. I know Sega did have their, I forget what it was called, their version of the Play Choice 10, where you could play Genesis games, but Sonic wasn't technically an arcade game. But I'm sure this thing will probably be like $700 or $800. But at least, they're still making some cabinets. But I think we're going to see a massive resurgence in retro games because of this RAM shortage. And that's not a bad thing, because I'm sorry, a lot of these games have withstood the test of time more so than any of the AAA titles that we're seeing now. Very few AAA titles from the last 5 to 10 years are going to be remembered in the next 5 or 10 years. So play retro. That's what I'm going to tell you. Go back and play the old stuff. I'm going to wrap it up. Please subscribe. We'll talk later.